Okay, welcome back to day number 8, officially in week number 2. Today we're not going to learn too many new things. We're going to learn three-legged dog. But other than that, we're just going to be working on strength. So, for the beginning of week number 2, I really wanted to see where everyone's kind of at and see how much we've developed in the last week. So we're going to hold things for a while. We're going to shift back and forth quite a bit, and you might get sweaty. So sorry, not sorry, you're welcome maybe. Yeah, and disclaimer about noise. If there is some, I will try to edit it out. I think that's it, so let's go. Okay, so we're gonna start standing in the front of your mat today. So go ahead, standing in the front of your mat, bringing your feet together. Your legs are engaged, quads are engaged, glutes are engaged, shoulder blades are rolled down and back, and then palms are facing towards the front of you. And then kind of just imagine tucking your chin back. So many times we're too far forward with our chin, so just tucking it back, looking forward, standing nice and strong in this mountain pose. Beautiful. And you kind of can get ready for what we're about to do today. So let's go ahead, take a big inhale as we bring our arms up to the ceiling. And then interlace your fingers and press your palms towards the ceiling. Exhale. Get that full body stretch. Maybe come up onto your tippy toes if it feels good. And exhale as we're going to hinge at the hips, small bend in the knees, fold all the way down. Keeping that bend in your knees to save your low back and your hamstrings. And in this fold, you can grab each elbow and let your head hang, or you can grab the ground and close your eyes, or you can grab behind your legs. You can really do whatever you want. Just make sure you have that little bend in your knees. And breathe. Beautiful. Go ahead, place both hands down onto the ground on the sides of your feet. So bend your knees as much as you need to get there. And then we're going to step the left foot back into a lunge position. So from here already, we're just going to rock here for a second, forward and back. Feeling the stretch in the hip flexor maybe. And breathe. Beautiful. And go ahead, we're going to take the right foot back into a plank position. So keeping your core tight, press the ground away as you bring that foot back into that plank. And then we're going to drop our knees down to the ground, starting off in a modified position. Hug your elbows in, and we're going to lower on the count of 5. So ready, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. And then inhale. Low cobra. And then exhale up onto your knees, tuck your toes under, press back into that downward dog. Beautiful. So left leg came back first, so we're going to bring that one forward. So we're going to go into a three-legged dog. So when we do this, we're going to inhale, take the left leg up. Now it doesn't have to be as high up here as you can get, just up a little bit, as much as you can with keeping your hips square. And then now we're going to come onto our tippy toes of the right foot. Bend the knee of the left leg as you keep your core tight. Knee to nose, knee to nose, knee to nose. Place that foot between your hands. Again, the more you practice that one, the more likely you're going to get it at the end of the 30 days. So even if it's frustrating, practice that control, bringing that foot forward. And then breathe here for a second. We're going to inhale, swoop the arms up into a high lunge. And we're going to stay here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go ahead, exhale your hands down to the ground. Step that back leg to match and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, going to swoop the arms all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. All right, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. This time we're going to try doing it without the modified version. If you'd like to stay with the modified version, that's totally fine. Let's go ahead, inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, fold, hinge at the hips, small bend in the knees. Inhale, flat back. And then exhale as you step that right foot back into that lunge. And again, just stay here for a moment, rocking back and forth, breathing, noticing how your hips make me feel different from the other side. All right, now we're going to place our hands really good on the ground, and we're going to take that left foot back into that plank position, core nice and tight. So we're in that high plank. If you choose to go down to the modified version, feel free. Otherwise, tuck your elbows in, and we're going down on the count of 5. So 1, 2, hug your elbows in, 3, 4, 5, pause. Inhale, upward facing dog. Tops of the feet on the floor, legs engaged, squeezing that upper back together. Exhale, downward dog. And breathe. From here, we're going to go into that 3-legged dog on the right side. So keep your left foot on the ground as you inhale, take the right leg up to the sky. And then exhale, bend that knee as you come up to the tippy toes of the left foot. Bring that knee to the nose, knee to the nose, knee to the nose. Place that foot between your hands. And then we're going to inhale, taking the arms up into that high lunge. And breathe. In and out to the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, placing your hands down onto the ground. Step that back foot to match the front and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, swoop the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. All right. I think we're done with the sun salutations, but we're still going to work on strength. So, big inhale, the arms all the way up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, small bend in the knees, fold, placing your hands onto the ground, stepping both feet back into a downward dog. And I'll wait for you here. Beautiful. And from here, we're just going to shift our weight forward into a high plank, core tight. Press the ground away, engage your legs, and exhale back into a downward dog. Breathe. We're going to do that 4 more times. So go ahead, shift your weight forward into a plank. Core tight, engage your legs, engage your arms. Exhale back into a downward dog. Keep breathing. 3 more. Shifting your weight forward into that plank. And exhale, downward dog. 2 more. And shift your weight forward into that plank. And back to downward dog. 1 more time. Just keep breathing in and out through the nose. Let's go ahead, shift our weight forward into that plank. And back into the downward dog. Go ahead, spread your knees nice and wide on the mat, untuck your toes, and sit back into a child's pose. Just breathing here for a second. Noticing how your shoulders feel, how your core feels, how your heart rate's doing, how your breath is doing. Just letting it all happen. There's no good or bad in yoga. It just is what it is. Beautiful. And let's go ahead, coming back up into that tabletop position. So bringing your knees hip width apart, tucking your toes under, pressing back into that downward dog for me.
Beautiful. And let's go ahead and try to bring that foot in between the hands again. So left leg is going to come up into that three-legged dog. Tippy toes of the right foot, core tight, bringing the knee to the nose. Knee to the nose, think knee to nose the whole time. Just touch your knee to your nose and place that foot down. You're going to go to bed at night and you're going to say, knee to nose, knee to nose. You're just going to hear my voice over and over again. And then from here, we're just going to inhale, swoop the arms up into a high lunge. And then try to really bend into that front knee. Beautiful. And just breathe here for a moment. Keep breathing in and out to the nose. And let's go ahead and drop that right heel down to the ground, going into our Warrior Two. Now remember, in Warrior Two, you want to see that big toe, so make sure that left knee goes more towards the left and forward. And imagine someone's pulling your arms away on either side. And breathe. And windmill your arms down as you exhale, framing that foot. And then we're going to come back into our downward dog. So bringing that left leg back into the downward dog, doing the same thing on the other side. Inhale, we're going to take the right leg up. Tippy toes of the left foot. As you bend that right knee, core tight, bring your knee to your nose. Knee to your nose, knee to your nose. Place that foot between your hands. And breathe. And then inhale, swoop the arms up into that high lunge. Breathe here for a moment. Get a little deeper in that front knee. And then go ahead and exhale. Drop that back heel down to the ground. Again, making sure that you can still see that big toe. So that right knee goes a little bit more to the right and forward, and then someone's pulling your arms on either side. And breathe. Bend into that front knee a little bit more. And exhale, windmill your arms to frame that foot. And then pressing the ground away, coming back into that downward dog. From here, we're just going to do those 5 shifts one more time, and then we'll be done. So we're going to shift our weight forward into that plank. Core tight. Exhale, downward dog. Breathe. Shift forward into that high plank. And exhale, downward dog. You got the train today. And shift forward into that plank. Exhale, downward dog. We got 2 more. And shift forward. Core tight. And back into that downward dog. The last one, we're going to do a vinyasa flow. So take the modified or original, doesn't matter. And last time, shift forward into that plank. Hug your elbows in, core tight, slowly lower, chaturanga. Pause. Tops of the feet on the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Go ahead, dropping both your knees down to the ground nice and wide. Untuck your toes. Tops of the feet on the floor, head to the ground. Hips on the heels, child's pose. And just breathe here for a second. Letting your heart rate come back down. Always in and out through the nose. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and slowly walk our hands all the way up till we're seated on our heels. Hands in the center of the chest. And just thanking yourself for coming today. Namaste.
Okay, that was day number 8. I hope it made a couple of you sweat. I'm sure that some of you were fine and that this was cake for you. That's great too. It's just good practice. Tomorrow, I don't know what we're going to do. I guess it depends on how sore we are. So maybe a little bit more of lower body. Yeah, let's do a little bit more of lower body holds. So long times in... I'm not going to give too much away, actually. I'll just see you tomorrow. I don't want to scare you. So, yeah, thanks for coming. Bye, guys.